Hi, this is the video that's going to show how our unlocked SIMs are working with the new iOS 13, and we'll be going over how our regular size SIM that works for the iPhone 5, 6, 7, 8, and some of the earlier X's, how it's still working and how to use it, as well as the X unlock SIM that works for the XS, XR, XS Max. So currently we have an iPhone 7 that is on iOS 13 that we will be using. So this is going to show that our unlocked SIMs that we currently sell right now are still popping up the menu on the iPhone 7 and even the iPhone 8s, and pretty much all of those model phones. It's still working. And pretty much all you would do is just insert your chip with your unlock. And once you put it in, that menu is still going to populate. And once it does, that's when you'll be editing the ICC ID and continuing with the activation. So once this menu pops up, we do have the Chinese menu currently right now for those regular SIMs. The first option is going to be where you can edit the ICC ID. This is the current ICC ID that is working for the AT&T SIMs, the AT&T prepaid, H2O, Net10, and Red Pocket currently. Those are the only services that are still working, and that is of 9/24/2019 as far as the status. But the menu pops up, and just pressing send and then pressing accept, and now the phone is unlocked. Most of your phones are going to be going into the activation screen. This one did not, but we do have AT&T right here. So we're all set. So that's how the regular unlock SIM is still popping up the menu and allowing you to still unlock the phones to those carriers. So now we are actually going to be working on an iOS or an XS Max that is on iOS 13. So currently people are having an issue with the iOS 13 on any of the XS Max or XR. We're going to use this as a customer's phone to show that it is on iOS 13. And the issue that people are having right now is that whenever they are trying to use the unlock SIM, that menu is not popping up, which is a cause of iOS 13. A solution is being worked on, but we have found the workaround in the meantime. So again, we are going to be using the X unlock SIM, which is made for all of the SIM cards that are upside down, of course looking like this when you pull it out. So this is how you would use this unlock SIM, which is this way. It's going to be cut specifically to fit into your SIM tray, and the SIM card is going to go over and flipped over. So right now we're going to be inserting it into our XS Max to show that it is not pulling up the menu currently in these phones. So right now a lot of people are having issue to where once they put in the unlock SIM, the activation screen comes up, but unfortunately there's no menu that is popping up. So when you're pressing continue and you're already connected to Wi-Fi, you're going to receive a message that says unsupported SIM, which is one of the new messages of iOS 13. So fortunately, we have found a solution. And the great thing about our unlock SIMs that we have made for the iPhone XS and the Max and the XR is that they are made in a way where you can still actually program them in older phones. And even if you don't have an XS Max or an XR or an XS that is currently not on iOS 13, these SIMs can still be activated on the iPhone 7 because the menu will still pop up. So how can we do that with these flaps there? The great thing about our SIMs right now, if you can see this perforation that's here, they can be almost folded out this way. So this little piece can actually come off by just bending it back and forth. and it can be peeled off just like this. So your end result will look as if it's a regular SIM. But now, because we want to use it in our XS Max, we need to make sure that we keep this back flap here. So you say, how can it fit in your iPhone 7 that currently has the regular SIM? So we will be doing that here. So the key now is going to be using these SIMs in an older phone, not necessarily one that has older iOS. It doesn't matter the iOS, was it 13 or 12. The menu will pop up, especially if you're needing to program a customer's phone that has iOS 13, that is an XS Max or an XR, a phone that does not, that you don't have an extra. You don't have one that's on lower software or even on iOS 13. So we're going to be using it in an iPhone 7 that has iOS 13 and show that the menu still pops up. You can still edit the ICC ID and still use it. So we're going to be using an AT&T SIM again. And as we saw right here, once we took that perforation off that's right there, this almost now looks like a regular SIM, which can be still used in all the phones. But we want to keep this back flap so we can use it for the XS and the XRs. So as you can see how I'm putting it in here, the back flap is showing up instead of down compared to the others. And the SIM card is going to go in just like normal. So you do have to kind of push that a little bit, and you see how it kind of folds over by itself. This is going to allow you to use the unlock SIM in the iPhone 7s and the iPhone 8s, which again, we have our iPhone 7 here that is currently on iOS 13. So everyone is having issue with the menus popping up on the XS Max and the XR, but we're going to show how on the iPhone 7s and 8s, ones that you have in your showcase that you can use to program your phone with, and then put it into your customer's phone that has your XS, XR. So we're putting it in with this back flap showing up, and the SIM card going in that way. So once we put it in, this menu is going to pop up, the same one that we usually have. The instructions are going to be to edit the ICC ID. And then you may pop back up, yes. To edit the ICC ID, and it's going to allow us to do that. This is the current ICC ID from 8/24. It's one that's currently still working and working for the AT&T prepaid H2O, Net 10, and Red Pocket currently. Again, a solution for all SIMs is in the works, and we will get there as soon as possible. So once you come to select mode, the mode that you're going to be selecting is option number 7, which is 3G, 4G ICC ID mode. Once you select that, the setup is okay. So since we're programming it in this phone, so we can put it into our XS Max, once we press accept, that's when we can take out the chip with the current chip that we want to use. So we want to keep those together. And now we're going to be putting it into our XS Max that has iOS 13. And so now with these two, we're actually going to be putting it back in with the back flap first, exactly how the SIM is cut to fit correctly. And even with the SIM not having that front flap right here, it's still going to fold over correctly and still stay inside the phone. So right now we're going to go ahead and put it into our iOS 13 phone, which again is our customer's phone. And as you can see, the activation screen did not even come up, and the service as well too is not showing anything. Now the SIM card is not active, so it shows no service, but here we want to show that it is on AT&T by going to cellular, and AT&T is there. So that is the workaround of using the our SIM cards with the new iOS 13 and all the XS, XRs, and XS Max to still give your customers the options of unlocking their phones for that very cheap price. Thank you very much.